Okay. Shall we start?
Yes, Vinayak.
Okay. Okay. So good evening, everyone. So you know me very well. So just I want to give a quick introduction of myself in terms of my experience and the work experience which I have. So guys, my name is Vinayak Shendge. I'm 31 years old. I was born and brought up in Pune. And if I talk about my work experience, I have total 8+ years of work experience in IT industry, and currently I'm working with LTI Mindtree as a senior cloud engineer. So my roles on responsibilities involves deployment of Azure resources, taking whole and sole responsibilities of Azure resources. So it's almost been 3 years that I have been working with LTI Mindtree. Okay, and yeah, so that's all about my technical background. And I would also like you guys to introduce yourself. How much experience do you have in terms of cloud computing or any kind of technical knowledge you must be having, and what education you have pursued? So I would like to understand that.
Hello. Actually, I'm totally fresher in IT industry, and I'm right now working in the real estate field. And I'm completing graduation in BCom Commerce
Okay.
section.
Okay.
So I don't have any idea about the IT industry. Just I want to
Uh,
learn.
okay. Great. Ashish, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, hi Vinayak. Hi everyone.
Hi.
So my name is Ashish Ramchan Marathe. Currently, I'm working in an IT company as a software developer. I'm specialized in a backend developer. I am carrying more than 3 years experience as a backend developer, and I'm familiar with AWS resources like Lambda, Python, Stay Functions, and EC2. And apart from that, I just currently interested to learn like become a solution architecture. So that's why I'm joining this call.
Great. The reason why I ask you to introduce yourself, guys, because there might be some people who are fresher. We can take an example of Sufyan. That's totally completely fine. Okay. So here we will teach everything from scratch. You don't have to worry about you do not need to have any prerequisites. Okay. So we will be learning everything from scratch. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So, 1 second. Let me create a new tab for Azure 104 course. Okay. So the things that we will be learning in this session will be related to, I'll go step by step, what compute is. Now you do not need to understand right now itself. Okay. So we will go step by step. We will understand each and every topics step by step. Okay. Just go with me right now. So what is compute?
Okay.
This will be our first topic, or maybe not first topic, but I'm just noting it right now. Then we will be taking storage. What kind of different storages are there? Then we will be taking networking. Then networking. Then we will be covering virtual machines. Then we will be covering Azure app services. Uh, if possible, we will also cover Terraform, how to deploy the resources using Terraform. So Terraform is basically infrastructure as a code tool through which we can deploy resources using a particular code. There is a declarative syntax that we use. Okay. You do not need to have any prior knowledge for this. We will be covering everything from scratch. Okay. So wherever you feel like there is a doubt or you are not able to understand, stop me right there, then and there, and ask me questions. Okay, guys?
Okay. And
Okay.
one more thing,
Yeah.
can we learn as a
Sorry. Can we learn
SQL?
SQL? SQL,
Yes.
eh, see, we are looking for an Azure administrator role for as of now. Okay, so SQL
Okay.
for administrator role is not required as per my knowledge. So yeah, definitely we can
Okay.
also cover that topic, but we will cover those topics which are important as per the Azure perspective.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Vinayak,
yeah, yes, Ashish.
would you like to, can you share up experience about the Azure function? Can you, after your completion, can you give some kind of information to us?
Which
Azure function.
Azure functions? Yeah, thank you for uh, that topic. I'll also cover Azure functions. It is also a great topic and it is asked in interview. Azure Web App Service is the one. And Traffic Manager, it's kind of a load balancer. Then
Mm-hmm.
we'll cover Azure Load Balancer also. Then we will cover Application Gateway. Then, in terms of security perspective, we will cover Network Security Group, NSG. We will cover firewall. Specifically, we will be covering Azure firewall, not Microsoft firewall. Okay. So I'll type as Azure firewall. Okay. So here itself, we have 12 topics to cover. Okay, which is going to take a lot of time. Like it will also take 2 months or 3 months, might be. Okay. And what else do we need to cover? Yeah, the main topics, those are RBAC rules, role-based access control, and identity and access management, IAM. So what is Microsoft Entra ID? What is an identity? How authentication and authorization happens? We will be also covering. That will be our first topic actually, but I am noting it down in the last. Okay. So these are all the topics that we are going to cover in our lectures. Okay, we will start with first the introduction. Like, what do you understand, guys? Can some of you tell me what do you understand by a cloud? What is a cloud exactly?
Actually, I don't have any idea about cloud.
No, any you can tell anything like whatever you know about cloud. And
The cloud, I
you
just
you
understand
you you
as
itself you are also using a cloud in your day-to-day life. Can you name some of
right, like a drive,
drive? Correct, very good. But which drive? Google Drive?
Google Drive.
Yeah. So what do we do exactly in a drive?
We can save the photos, videos, and all these things,
Very good. So we
and
can
the files
it is used for
also
storing our data. That data can be anything.
our data.
So yeah. So data can be anything. It can be in text format, it can be images, it can be videos, any file which can be structured, semi-structured. We will come to that part. What is structured data, what is semi-structured data, and what is unstructured data. We'll come to that part. So any kind of data can be stored in a drive. Okay. Is that the only purpose of a cloud? Or
No, no
can
idea.
it be used for multiple purpose? Is email also considered as a cloud? Email service, Gmail that we use?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Cloud means like we get a ready-made infrastructure. We don't have to invest in infrastructure. We get a lot of services like email and storage services. Apart from that, security services. Sometimes you get virtual computers, virtual VPC. So it is a group of lot of services which can you use or run a run a company, or else you can use for your personal purpose also.
Okay. Very good answer, Ashish. So in our day-to-day activities, why do we require cloud? First of all, we need to understand that. Why? Always ask this type of question: why and how. So once the why is clear, you know why, the purpose of it, and you just need to know how it works. Then, okay. Suppose there is an application. That application can be anything. Suppose it's a Zomato application, it's a food delivery application that someone is using. Okay. So this is an application. What things that we need to run an application? Can you tell me?
No idea actually, sir.
No idea, not an issue. So basically, we need some servers. There can be n number of servers, multiple servers. But why do we need a server? What is a server? Can you define what is a server, Ashish?
I think server is like a virtual computer in which you can get for a like
Hmm.
virtual computer where your user can come over there and get a website they want.
So is it a hardware or is it a software?
It is a combination of hardware and software.
Okay, okay. So let's go to one of this definition. What is a server? So here they are saying server is a program or a device that provides functionality for clients, which are other programs or devices. Okay. So basically a server can be, it's a software, okay, that can be installed on a hardware, and through which we can what we say, we can retrieve some data from it. A client, see here it is given, a server is a hardware device. Basically it's a software. A server cannot be hardware. A server is a software which is running on a hardware actually, but here they have mentioned a server is a hardware device or software that processes requests sent over a network and replies to them.
Vinay,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but your screen is visible to me. I'm not able to see.
Not visible.
Like you are
Sufyan,
sharing
is it
something?
same for the oh, so sorry, actually I did not share the screen. Thank you so much, Ashish. I was just going speaking and I already mentioned so many topics. It's okay. Sure. Now is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now.
Uh,
Yes. Right now it's visible now.
okay, guys. So we discussed that whatever the topics that we are going to discuss. First, we said compute, storage, networking, virtual machines, Azure App Services, Terraform, Azure Functions, Traffic Manager, Azure Load Balancer, Application Gateway, NSG, Azure Firewall, RBAC rules, and IAM. Guys, what do you think? Why have I mentioned so many topics? And there are also a lot more services that we need to learn. But why I have mentioned these topics only? Because if you're trying to give an interview for Azure admin role, these are the topics which are asked in the interview. Okay. So that's why I've mentioned I'm pressing so much on this topics which we'll be covering in the future. Okay. Now we are what we were discussing. We were discussing what is a server. So here they have given a definition of a server, that a server is a hardware device or software that processes requests sent over a network and replies to them. A client is the device that submits a request and waits for a response from the server. The computer system that accepts requests for online files and transmits those files to the client is referred to as server. Now, okay. So I'll explain it in simple terms. Suppose this is my client machine. Suppose this is a client. Means client can be any machine. Sufyan. So suppose you are trying to access some sorry, some files from Google Drive. Then you are a client, and the file that you are trying to access, this Google Drive is a server for you.
Okay, got it.
Okay. This is a server, and on this server the file is located. On this server the file is located. Now you are the client. You have
We can also
your
say
mobile
data
phone.
as well, right?
Sorry.
We can say data as well.
Yeah, data. So data is basically present in the file. That's why I said file. You want to access
Okay.
data, you cannot directly access the data. The data must be in some form, in some extension. It should have some extension, right? So that's why I said file.
Okay.
Okay. Now you want to
Got it.
access the data or access this file. Okay. So you are making a request to the server, and in return, the server is sending back the data to the client. That is the main purpose of server. Okay. Are we clear till here?
Yes, got it.
Okay. So a server is nothing. Uh, Here, the server is a software which runs on a hardware to process requests sent over network and replies to them. A client is the device that submit a request that we mentioned. Client is submitting a request to the server and waits for a response from the server. The computer system that accept request for online files and transmit those files to the client is referred to as server. So server is just sending back what the information is asked by the client. ठीक है?
Okay.
Okay. Eh, Now then we were discussing a three-tier application. Can Ashish, are you aware of three-tier application? What is a three-tier application?
No, Vinay, I don't know.
Okay. How an application works? Can you tell me?
Like user asks for a data, and that call go to the server, and server they authenticate the user and give the appropriate response, as I know.
Okay. Now suppose I have an application called Zomato. Okay. I'm using this application. See, as an user, as a customer, I'm just using the interface of the application. But in the background, there are so many things that are happening. We aren't aware of it. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, we are the end users or end customers. I'll just make a circle or elliptical so that you'll be able to understand. We are user. We are trying to access the website. Okay. But the website is made in which language? Can you tell me? HTML.
No idea.
HTML can be one language. CSS is the styling language used to make that website. Then PHP is the language. Okay. So using this language, a particular static website is made. Now this website has nothing to do. Okay. It will not work. It's an idle website. एक खाली वेबसाइट है, इसमें कुछ भी काम नहीं करने वाला, इसमें सिर्फ हम वेबसाइट बना रहे। ठीक है। तो वेबसाइट में हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? तो इस लेयर को जो है, इस टीयर को हम क्या बोलेंगे? फ्रंट एंड टीयर। क्या बोलेंगे इसको?
Content.
फ्रंट
Okay.
एंड टीयर।
Content.
फ्रंट एंड मतलब क्या? जो सामने जो दिख रहा, वॉट एवर वी सी।
दिख
हाँ,
दिख रहा है.
करेक्ट। जो
Right.
हम इंस्टाग्राम यूज कर रहे हैं, हम उसे एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं।
Correct.
Whatever things that those are tangible, we can see, we can access those information, is called as front end tier. तो ये होता है
Content. Yes.
फर्स्ट टीयर ऑफ थ्री टीयर एप्लीकेशन. नाउ दिस फ्रंट एंड टीयर नीड्स अ बैकएंड सर्वर्स टू रन. बैकएंड सर्वर्स लगते हैं ना इसको. ये अभी डेटा कहाँ से
Correct. लगते
पहुंचेगा?
हैं.
डीएनएस होता है, डीएचसीपी होता है. अभी ये सर्वर है, अभी सॉरी ये फ्रंट एंड है. ये फ्रंट एंड को मुझे
हाँ.
एक कस्टमर एक्सेस कर रहा. अभी एग्जांपल देता हूं मैं तुम्हें. google.com जब भी हम एक्सेस करते हैं, तो google.com के पीछे क्या हो रहा? हम वहां पे एक आईपी एड्रेस होती है. करेक्ट. इट्स द
करेक्ट।
आईपी एड्रेस
हाँ।
दैट वी आर एक्सेसिंग। बट आईपी एड्रेस ऐसे कितने सारे वेबसाइट्स है, सारे वेबसाइट्स के आईपी एड्रेस हम याद रख सकते हैं एज ए ह्यूमन बींग? नहीं
नहीं।
रख सकते, बराबर। तो इस वजह से क्या
नहीं।
कंसेप्ट आया था, डीएनएस कंसेप्ट आया था। डीएनएस क्या होता है? डोमेन नेमिंग सिस्टम। तो वो जो आईपी एड्रेस होती है, वो आईपी एड्रेस को हम क्या करते हैं, हम
हाँ।
कवर करेंगे, डीएनएस क्या होता है आगे और डिटेल में कवर करेंगे उसे। आईपी एड्रेस के टाइप्स क्या होते हैं, कैसे होता है, कैसे असाइन करते हैं, उसमें सब हम कवर करने वाले आगे। बट अभी सिर्फ थोड़ा समझ के लो कि क्या है, ठीक है।
ओके।
तो डीएनएस सर्वर
यस।
लगेगा, वो सर्वर में कहाँ पे इंस्टॉल करूंगा, बैकएंड सर्वर में, डीएनएस सर्वर रहेगा, ठीक है। अभी ये डीएनएस
हाँ।
सर्वर है, इसको आईपी एड्रेस जो देना है मुझे, तो आईपी एड्रेस देने के लिए मुझे और एक सर्वर लगेगा, उसे कहते हैं डीएचसीपी सर्वर, डायनामिक होस्ट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन प्रोटोकॉल, ऐसा उसका फुल फॉर्म है, ठीक है। अभी उसमें डिटेल
ओके।
में नहीं जाना है। तो डीएचसीपी सर्वर का काम क्या है कि अगर क्लाइंट मेरे से रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा कि मुझे आईपी एड्रेस दो, तो मेरा काम है उसको आईपी एड्रेस देना, बस। डीएनएस सर्वर का काम क्या है कि जो आईपी एड्रेस है और जो डोमेन नेम होगा उसका मैपिंग करना, ठीक है। ऐसे
ओके।
एन नंबर ऑफ सर्वर्स है। अभी ये जो कोड है मेरा, ये जोमेटो का जो मैंने वेबसाइट बनाया है, इसको मैंने कौन से लैंग्वेजेस में बनाया है, एचटीएमएल में बनाया, सीएसएस और पीएचपी,
यस।
ऐसे बहुत सारे लैंग्वेजेस यूज किए मैंने। अभी ये लैंग्वेज, ये जो कोड है मेरा, इसको क्या मैं बोलता हूँ, सोर्स कोड। ये सोर्स कोड मुझे कहीं तो स्टोर करना होगा ना, बराबर। तो वो
करेक्ट।
सोर्स कोड स्टोर करने के लिए भी मुझे
ये
क्या
सफनान
लगेगा,
म्यूट कर।
मुझे
म्यूट कर
सर्वर लगेगा।
सफनान।
मुझे क्या लगेगा, मुझे सर्वर लगेगा, बराबर। तो वो सर्वर क्या हो सकता है, एक वर्चुअल मशीन हो सकता है, एक वेब ऐप सर्वर हो सकता है, ठीक है। और बहुत सारे डॉकर कुबरनेटिस यूज करते हैं हम, क्लस्टर्स होते हैं, वो यूज कर सकते हैं हम, ठीक है। तो ऐसे एन नंबर ऑफ सर्वर्स है जो कि बैकएंड में यूज होते हैं। अभी ये बैकएंड में है, मुझे ये फ्रंट एंड और बैकएंड, इसमें इन दोनों के बीच में कनेक्टिविटी चाहिए। इन दोनों, ये दोनों टीयर के बीच में मुझे कनेक्टिविटी चाहिए। तो मुझे क्या लगेगा, नेटवर्किंग आया, बराबर। तो नेटवर्किंग में क्या क्या आएगा, अभी ये जो मैंने ये टीयर वन है, ये टीयर वन एक पर्टिकुलर वर्चुअल नेटवर्क में रहेगा, ये टीयर टू एक पर्टिकुलर वर्चुअल नेटवर्क में रहेगा, ये टीयर थ्री एक पर्टिकुलर वर्चुअल नेटवर्क में रहेगा। ऐसे डिफरेंट टीयर्स डिफरेंट वर्चुअल नेटवर्क्स में रहेंगे। बट वर्चुअल नेटवर्क्स डायरेक्टली एक दूसरे से बात नहीं कर सकते, तो इनमें हमें पियरिंग करना पड़ेगा, इनमें कनेक्शन एस्टेब्लिश करना पड़ेगा। तो ये कनेक्शन भी हम नेटवर्किंग में सीखेंगे आगे जाके। तो ये सर्वर्स और फ्रंट एंड में जो कनेक्शंस होंगे वो हम कैसे एस्टेब्लिश करते ये सीखेंगे। अभी उसके बाद क्या आया, ठीक है। अभी मैंने यहाँ पे मेरा सोर्स कोड सब सब स्टोर कर लिया, जो भी रिक्वेस्ट है यहाँ पे हो रही है, जो भी अभी मैं जोमेटो में ये कर रहा हूँ कनेक्शन, मेरा फॉर्म लॉगिन कर रहा हूँ, या फिर मैं एक पर्टिकुलर रेस्टोरेंट के साइट पे जा रहा हूँ, वहां पे एक पर्टिकुलर थिंग ऑर्डर कर रहा हूँ, तो जो भी प्रोसेसिंग हो रहा वो प्रोसेसिंग कहाँ पे होगा, सर्वर्स पे होगा। और उसका कुछ तो डेटा मुझे कहीं पे स्टोर करना पड़ेगा ना। I will have to store that data in some kind of server। और वो इसको मैं क्या बोलूंगा फिर। अभी ये मेरा हो गया फ्रंट एंड टीयर, फर्स्ट टीयर। ये सेकंड टीयर को मैं नाम दूंगा बैक एंड टीयर, ये मेरा है सेकंड टीयर। और थर्ड टीयर, दिस इज माय थर्ड टीयर, विच विल बी माय डेटाबेस टीयर थ्री। डेटाबेस, अभी मैंने, डेटा तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, मैं कहाँ पे जा रहा हूँ, क्या चीज ऑर्डर कर रहा हूँ, मैंने कब ऑर्डर की थी, ये सब डेटा इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो कंपनी यूज करती है। कि मुझे क्या खाना पसंद है, वही डेटा वो कंपनी क्या करेगी, कलेक्ट करेंगे और उसी हिसाब से मुझे रिकमेंडेशंस देंगे। ओके, आई लव ईटिंग बर्गर, आई लव ईटिंग पिज्जा, सो इट विल गिव मी recommendations based on my previous orders। Got it? So what we will be doing is, the backend tier, the data all the data that is collected from the backend tier, we will store it to the database. So that is how a 3-tier application works. So इसे कहते हैं 3-tier application, जिसमें फ्रंट एंड होता है, बैक एंड होता है और डेटाबेस होता है. Are we clear till here, guys? Ashish?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, guys,
Yes, sir.
it's called 3-tier application. Okay. What should be the next topic? One second, guys. Okay. Now, coming back to cloud. So there are different kind of clouds. This is the question that is asked in the interview, guys. Types of cloud or deployment models. I have given so many interviews, and in many of the interviews, this question has been asked. Like, what are the deployment models of the cloud? So there are basically 3 deployment model, guys. One is public, second is private, and third one is hybrid. So what is the difference between this public, private, and hybrid? Can you tell me? What do you understand by this?
I think public cloud is the cloud means everyone can access that.
Correct. Can you give me an example of it?
We can say any site on Google.
No, that is not a cloud. And it is not necessarily important that anybody can access it. कोई भी ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि कोई भी एक्सेस कर सके. तो फिर मैं मेरा डेटा सिक्योरली कैसे स्टोर करूंगा क्लाउड पे अगर कोई भी एक्सेस कर रहा है तो?
Okay.
Okay. Ashish, would you like to pitch in?
No. Please explain. I also be confused about that.
Okay, not an issue. So public cloud में क्या होता है? Public cloud is where resources, hardware are owned and maintained by the cloud provider. जैसे Azure हो गया, GCP हो गया, गूगल क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म, या फिर AWS, Amazon वेब सर्विसेज, ये सब जो भी है ये क्लाउड प्रोवाइडर है. बट ये पब्लिक क्लाउड प्रोवाइडर है. इसमें जो भी हार्डवेयर है वो कंपनी ओन करती है, हमें उसका कोई केयर नहीं है. मतलब हार्डवेयर इन द सेंस, तुम मुझे बता सकते हो एक सर्वर है, एक सर्वर जो होता है या फिर एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है, उसको रन करने के लिए मुझे क्या क्या चाहिए? इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन, गाइस. To run an application or to run an operating system, what are the components or hardware components required?
We need computer or hard disk.
Computer. Okay, computer. Computer, if you say computer particularly, it contains a lot many things. Okay. So what are the things that are required for creating a computer or a machine?
Like CPU
CPU,
and
very good.
SSD
Okay, storage, SSD drive, and
maybe internet.
the internet is a different thing. Internet we connect it later. Okay, internet is a different thing. I'm just asking, for running an operating system, what are the hardware components required?
I think CPU SSD is this
Yes,
sufficient.
you were right. CPU and SSD means, in short, you said processing, compute, and storage is required. Okay, we will require RAM, we will require ROM. Okay, and we will require hard disk. Yeah, those are the basic things that are required to run an operating system. Okay, so to run this operating system in public cloud, the hardware, we are not owning it. Means there are machines that are running in the background. Whenever we are creating in the public cloud, whenever we are creating resources in a public cloud, we do not have to worry about hardware. That is completely owned by the company itself. That company can be, I will give just a few examples: Azure, GCP, AWS. These are the 3 examples of public cloud. So hardware is shared with multiple companies or tenant. It is lower in cost. We do not have to worry about the maintenance of it, and near unlimited scalability and high reliability. It's highly reliable. So now
Uh,
coming to what
Vinay,
is private cloud. Yes, Ashish.
Vinay, can you explain what is the meaning of the sharing the share with multiple companies? I mean, what is meaning of that? Means I'm not
Mhm.
getting that. Means
Okay, so
means
inside,
Amazon and Mhm.
yeah, sharing with multiple components or tenants means the hardware which is owned by the company like Microsoft. Inside, like we in Azure, we are creating multiple tenants or multiple organization. That's why it is said that the cloud or the hardware is shared with multiple companies. हम क्या कर रहे हैं Azure में, क्या कर रहे हैं या फिर AWS में क्या कर रहे हैं, हम companies organizations के हिसाब से there can be n number of companies. Now Ashish, you must be working in some organization, right? अगर उसका डेटा वो कहाँ पे स्टोर कर रही है, सपोज एडब्ल्यूएस पे
मुझे
स्टोर कर रही है। एडब्ल्यूएस का जो हार्डवेयर है वो कौन ओन कर रहा, अमेजोन ओन कर रहा, बराबर।
Mhm.
हाँ, so that's why it is said
Right, right.
hardware is shared with multiple components or tenants.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay, now coming to
Yeah,
what
thank
is
you.
private cloud. प्राइवेट क्लाउड में क्या होता है? प्राइवेट क्लाउड इज वेयर resources or hardware is used dedicatedly by one company or tenant. कभी तुम आईटी कंपनी में गए हो मतीन और सुफियन?
हाँ
हाँ, तो
No,
वहां
sir.
पे आईटी आईटी डिपार्टमेंट होता है पर्टिकुलरली।
करेक्ट
वहां पे डेटा सेंटर्स होते हैं, बराबर। तो
करेक्ट
डेटा सेंटर्स जो
हाँ
होते वो कौन ओन करता है? वो पर्टिकुलर कंपनी ओन
वो
करती
आई करेक्ट राइट उनकी
है, करेक्ट।
सेपरेट टीम होती है आईटी
हाँ,
की
तो दैट इज कॉल्ड प्राइवेट क्लाउड। मतलब प्राइवेट क्लाउड में जो भी रिसोर्सेस है, जो भी हार्डवेयर है, वो डेडिकेटेडली बाय वन कंपनी ओन करती है, यूज डेडिकेटेडली बाय वन कंपनी और टेनेंट। टेनेंट मतलब कंपनी होती है, ठीक है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। प्राइवेट क्लाउड्स आर मोस्टली यूज्ड बाय गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज, फाइनेंशियल कॉर्पोरेशंस। जस्ट एग्जांपल दिया है कि गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज या फिर फाइनेंशियल कॉर्पोरेशंस यूज करती है प्राइवेट क्लाउड, हर कोई आईटी कंपनी यूज करती है, ऐसा ऐसा ही नहीं है। अरे यार लाइट गई। हेलो, हेलो, हेलो।